Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I got all sorts of Ripple and XRP related news and analysis to share with you in this video. I'll be starting with this piece from Daily Hodl, which is an update on a video that I put out within the last couple days or so. This one's titled, "One of Ripple's Top Investments Reveals New XRP Banking Platform Roadmap." And I have some thoughts on this that I want to share with you. We're ultimately talking about, a huge part of it anyway, XRP being used as actual money in place of fiat currency. That's part of it anyway. There's more to it. I also want to share with you a very interesting Twitter thread in which somebody was asking about the impact of Ripple's on-demand liquidity, which of course utilizes XRP as a bridge currency, on the actual price action of XRP. I got a few opinions to share on that, because I think throughout the XRP community, I think it's fairly common to see the same misunderstanding of the mechanics of this and how it affects price. I see it a lot, frankly, on the Twitters here, so I want to talk about it. And then I've also got some fake news about Ripple that I want to share with you, because it's getting spread throughout the XRP community on the Twitters, and I'd like to try and squash it. So that's what we got going on in this hot jam. But before we go any further, if you would please ever so delicately tap that like button, I would certainly appreciate it. And also treat yourself, girl, by subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel. You deserve it. You ain't been fussy lately. Just go ahead. It's free too, so the price is right. All right, let's jump into this piece now. XRP Banking Platform Roadmap. Tell me more. Ripple-backed development studio XRPL Labs is offering new details on the XRP-focused banking app Sum, XUMM, because they don't want you to know how to pronounce it. The app allows users to hold and spend Ripple's native token XRP, which is, obviously that's false. I have to call that out. I should start correcting it so I don't have to explain it in videos. It's not Ripple's native token, it's just XRP. Maybe I should start doing that. I get tired of correcting these pieces, because it's not going to stop. It's very clear to me. And it's not like they're trying to be a troll about it. Like I think they literally don't know that this is incorrect. Ripple is a company, XRP is a decentralized cryptocurrency. But anyway, so the app allows users to hold and spend XRP with the goal of allowing people to be their own bank. And wasn't that like the original tagline of Bitcoin, be your own bank? And so seeing that in conjunction with XRP certainly catches my attention. I'll speak more on that in just a second here. But in the long run, XRPL Labs says it plans to give people a way to spend dollars, euros, and XRP without the assistance of an intermediary through Sum. And so I've talked about the idea of a cryptocurrency or cryptocurrencies ultimately at some point actually being used in the place of certain fiat currencies when there's sufficient turmoil in certain geographic regions with specific fiat currencies. You can see it start to take hold. If you're having runaway inflation with a fiat currency because, what a certain sovereign nation is printing it into oblivion, I can certainly see that, especially as liquidity increases in crypto markets and as we technologically get to the point where you can functionally do that, actually use it, and as far as, speed not being a problem, obviously, again, volatility, like I said, would have to get there. But then I've also talked about this idea of perhaps XRP not being the right fit to be used as an in place of a fiat currency because it's deflationary. And when I've said that I suspect that's the case, that's because I had heard some financial geniuses say stuff along those lines, but I hadn't sufficiently researched, and I'm still looking into it. But I got to tell you, my opinion on it is actually starting to change. Because I think that the underlying reason that some individuals state that it's not ideal, like you can't have a deflationary asset used in place of money, I think part of it has to do with the other implications, because if you're using that to invest in anything else, it affects the underlying monetary infrastructure in such a way that it wouldn't make sense monetarily, because you're talking about a deflationary asset, which means it's increasing, like in terms of its buying power, it's increasing. And then when you're talking about other markets, derivative markets, whatever it is, it would be like the inverse. It's like it would be you lose money in investing it, right? And so that doesn't sound good. But here's the interesting thing: as I've been thinking more about this, part of the reason that many people stay poor, they don't invest in assets, right? And so if like the vast majority of your wealth is in cash and you're living paycheck to paycheck, I mean, obviously I believe in upward mobility. There's all sorts of data on it, but those that don't get out of that cycle, you're going to stay poor because the dollar is being printed into oblivion, right? And so, if you can fix it, so if you had a deflationary asset that was used as money, it wouldn't be as important to invest in other assets because your buying power is always increasing, which is effectively what you're getting. So like when you're increasing your net wealth, it's because you're investing in other assets. So as the dollar's value goes down, and it continues to go down a couple percentage points every single year, you invest in assets because those increase. But what if your money was deflationary? You wouldn't need to do it as much. And those poorest people that perhaps don't even understand it, they would start to monetarily gain if that were the case. So when I started thinking about it in terms of that, I'm thinking, well, why the hell couldn't you have, at least in some corners of the world, a deflationary cryptocurrency like XRP perhaps, that can be used in place of money? And so my thinking on this is evolving, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about this, if you think I'm heading in the right direction or if you think I'm off base here, but that seems to make sense to me. And I don't think it's the case that fiat currencies are ever going to go away anyway. So as far as using them as an investment mechanism, like, it's still going to be there anyway, but I don't think that there's anything that would make it impossible or unlikely that as long as technologically it works, you're not going to have throughput problems. I don't see why you couldn't use a cryptocurrency in place of this. So that's why as liquidity increases, as utility continues to take hold with XRP, it could be, I don't think it's weird to rule this out. It could be the case that XRP, even though it's not the original use case that's intended by certainly Ripple, what if XRP ultimately is used in place of fiat currency as the infrastructure is built out? Because we're going to have a truly interoperable and increasingly liquid world. To me, that doesn't sound so nut anymore. This piece continues now, and that's why the reason I'm talking about this type of platform that XRP Labs is building, this is the type of thing that's going to make that possible if people want to do that. So anyway, the startup's new midterm to long-term roadmap includes adding fiat on and off ramps to some while introducing a new amendment to the XRP ledger called hooks. And that's the part that I did report on a couple days ago. The proposed change will offer new functionalities such as automatic saving and tipping, as well as blocking of transactions related to scam activities. In the near term, the company says it plans to work on the following: internal development testing procedures for some app translation portal to the Sum developer console, and bug fixes. So XRPL Labs expects to release the 0.7.0 beta version in late Q3 of this year, and Sum 1.0, the first non-beta version of the mobile app, in early Q4. So they're making progress here. The company also shares what it's in store for Sum next year. Here's a quote: "For the remainder of 2020 and in the first quarter of 2021, most Sum development will take place under the hood while we work on all features to be included in the Q1 2021 2.0 release. The second major release of Sum will include more translations and a major addition called Sum Pro." Let's go ahead and hop into the next piece now. This is interesting. Let's talk about this. This idea of on-demand liquidity affecting the price of XRP. And so, excuse me, there's an XRP community member named Harry. And he is very well known. Why is my mouse jumping? Sorry about that. He is very well known for calling the... Here, I'll just pull this up here. I think he still got it pinned. Yeah, he called the major bull run of XRP when it was 20-something cents all the way up to almost $4. So here's a tweet of his from December 12th, 2017. He wrote, "XRP formed a doji on 1 hour at a significant level. Bulls then bought it back. Short's gonna get wrecked. Make way for Moon." And he was certainly correct about that. And so he tweeted this out just yesterday. "XRP fans, retest of the breakout getting bought up. The short-term target for bulls is now in the 29.5 cent range." Somebody named Crypto OG responded to Harry and wrote, "Anybody else find it interesting that XRP has been steady rising since on-demand liquidity started new strategy? Are they allowing the price rise before they ramp up markets again? Higher price will open bigger markets." Well, so that implies some sort of manipulation, presumably by Ripple, and there's absolutely no indication of that. In fact, the way that open markets work here is it's humans that decide the open market price of XRP. It's just supply and demand, those people that are interested versus those that are not, and that's how you get an open market rate. It's the same with stocks, right? And so Harry responded and wrote, "On-demand liquidity is a fugazi, a buzzword. Forget it." I had to look up fugazi. I think I'd heard that term, but I didn't know what it was. But it just means nonsense, a fake thing, right? It's a big nothing, right? And so in the context, I knew that's what it meant, but I just wanted to look it up. Anyway, fugazi is not a word that I have used before. So anyway, Crypto OG responded, "They sure spent a lot of time and effort to create a fake product for business then." And that's certainly not the case. So All the Way 08 jumped in and wrote, "It's not fake, but Harry is right in a sense. It doesn't move the price of XRP. It increases the volume. A higher price XRP increases on-demand liquidity throughput. On-demand liquidity simply makes crypto speculation useful. You need retail whales or market makers buying up XRP to increase the price." Yeah, I see, and he's nailing it there. And this is where I think people get it backwards a lot of the time. It's not the case that because on-demand liquidity transactions need to occur that it somehow makes the price go higher because it must go higher. That is not how this works. Rather, it's that because there is a sufficient blend of price and liquidity, you can take advantage of that and then use XRP as a bridge currency. So I think most people seem to have it exactly backwards. So then you might say, well, is on-demand liquidity somehow going to help with the price action of XRP? Well, to be clear, I'm not going to offer financial advice. I never will, and I don't have a financial background, so I'm not pretending to be a professional or anything. I'm just an enthusiastic member of the XRP community that likes to make YouTube videos on this topic. But it's my belief, certainly, that XRP being used in the wild, being used in real life, is going to instill confidence in those that want to diversify and invest in other asset classes like the crypto asset class. And so if you're coming into the world of crypto as an institutional investor and you see Bitcoin that's not functionally being used for anything, and you see an XRP, or you see XRP which is required for businesses for some of their business models, you can see that XRP is actually used as a bridge currency. What are you going to have more confidence in? And so that type of activity can indirectly positively impact the price of XRP, but it's not like there's something mechanically that just makes the price go up. And then All the Way 08 wrote, "And people like Moon Lambo and Galgatron have been saying this ad nauseum, but people are still waiting for a flip of a switch. The same thing that has moved this market and the same thing that moves every market is what will move the price of XRP." Absolutely, you're killing it, and thank you very much for tagging me All the Way 08. I do appreciate that. Yeah, this whole idea of flip the switch, which you've probably seen if you're on Twitter, this phrase has been run rampant for years now, and I personally am not a fan of it because it doesn't get to the truth of the situation. So I wrote, "Absolutely correct. People overcomplicate what's going on primarily due to a lack of understanding. Put simply, Bitcoin today leads the market and the altcoin market follows. This speaks to the nascent stage we're in. There is no flip the switch," in quotation marks, I wrote. And I did see that Harry and Galgatron both hit like on that, so presumably they agree with me, which is good, which doesn't surprise me. All right, into this fake news, and we'll wrap up the video here. This is from news.bitcoin.com. This piece is titled, "U.S. Court Dismisses Claims Against XRP. Report shows Ripple paid MoneyGram $15.1 million in Q2." Okay, so the part about MoneyGram is true, but this story, and you may have heard about this, it's just been running rampant, so I got to call this out. U.S. Court dismisses claims against XRP. So it's stating that the legal disputes are over with Ripple. I don't want to dig into the piece really because it's already garbage, but it's simply not true. And so All the Way 08, and he ultimately tagged me. He didn't tag me in this tweet, but there's a separate one where he did. And so thank you for that, All the Way 08. I do appreciate it. But he retweeted where the link to the piece and wrote, "This is bad journalism. Again, shocking. A report citing another false report that the case was dismissed. The second false report is citing the first false report, which is citing Ripple's response. Tune in next week when a third report cites the second report that cited the first one." That's probably going to happen. That is actually how crypto media works. I am not kidding you. I follow so much crypto media. They basically copy each other's stories. And sometimes some of them are like days late. So like there's some outlets that literally have news that's just 3 days old every single day. It's amazing. Anyway, that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, To the moon, Lambo!